Poklárba! Ne haragudj, hogy a marhaságaimmal fárasztalak! Nem szarsz meg, ez egy őrszem! Nem képzelődtem!
Sine Mora is not your average shoot 'em up game. Let me say that I am an avid shoot 'em up fan and will play any new game with enthusiasm. With that being said though, this is a very harsh game and is completely unfriendly to anyone new to this genre. With the game's pretty 2.5D graphics comes a whole slew of problems which will be off-putting to anyone attempting to master this game. First off, the tutorial. See those 7 items I picked up, which are described using terms you won't be familiar with yet? That's the only item tutorial you get, and you have no way of looking it up in-game. Death isn't explained properly as well. If you get hit, you lose your power-ups, but getting hit also subtracts time, and when you run out of time you die. Oh, except if you hit a wall, you die as well, but only some walls and not others. This just about sums up Sine Mora for me. A lot of trial and error gameplay for things that should be so much simpler than they actually are. This game is not newcomer friendly. Speaking of trial and error, there is nothing I hate more than low visibility bullets. While the actual bullets are quite clear and contrast nicely with the background in this case, the missiles can be nigh invisible, and the camera shaking when you destroy a boss part makes this even worse. Speaking of boss attacks, they have some beams that have little to no telegraphing. I picked 2 examples in the video footage that will easily kill you if you didn't know about them beforehand. The 3D models in Sine Mora do not lend themselves to precision hit detection, and this coupled with the inability to distinguish foreground and background makes for some frustrating level design. This is further compounded by the camera. Your ship doesn't move at the same speed as the camera, so you're constantly having to make small adjustments in an already pressured situation. There are 4 difficulty settings for this campaign, 2 of which are unlocked from the start. After breezing through all of the game on normal, and just to give you an idea, some boss phases didn't even last 1 full round of attacking, I thought to myself that I'd be ready to take on the next highest difficulty. When I tried it, I couldn't even beat the first boss, so it seems I learnt absolutely nothing during my normal playthrough. I dare say this wasn't due to a lack of skill on my part, as in the boss practice mode I chose a later boss to fight on the highest difficulty and was able to A-rank it. Speaking of inconsistent difficulties, if you lose all of your continues, prepare to start the whole game over again. I don't mind this at all in arcade games where levels are short and intense, because at every retry you are learning. But in Sine Mora, this means playing through the tutorial all over again, followed by extremely easy levels, enemies and bosses, until you arrive once again at the part that gave you grief. Apologies for the mainly negative review, but I owe it to everyone to go as in-depth into the mechanics of Sine Mora as thoroughly as possible. However, these are the only negative points in the game's mechanics, and everything else is standard shoot 'em up fare, done pretty much flawlessly. The presentation, scoring system, power-ups, bullet patterns, level design, and boss designs especially are a joy to see. If there's a reason that I stuck with this game, it was because the bosses were so much fun to watch and fight. Overall, I would recommend Sine Mora while it is this cheap, but with a cautionary warning. If you're not prepared to learn, and learn a lot, you won't enjoy this game at all.